interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Welcome to the 2023 Dakar Rally edition of the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Bringing you daily updates as competitors take on over 5,000 miles in 15 days across the Arabian Peninsula. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Chasing Waypoints for more updates and news from the bivouac. That being said, let's get to it. All right, guys, what is going on? Here we go. Stage 10 preview show, 2023 Dakar Rally is what we got going on today. And man, are these guys, I'm sorry. So at 4:30, I'll just jump right to it, right? So at 4:30 p.m. today, they are going to be leaving the bivouac. The first bike will be leaving the bivouac on what is a insanely long. That is great. I mean, I'm not going to say it is a very long liaison to start this morning off. So anyway, so let's get to it. We will get right now into the stage preview for stage number 10 of the 2023 Dakar Rally. This is what it is breaking down to. It is a total of 624 kilometers that they will be running today. The special is only 114 kilometers total. So let's see what that breaks down into. So 624 kilometers, 386 miles is what they're going to be running or running up. It's 387 miles total for today's stage. So this is a gnarly, again, another 300 plus mile day, except for this one. The beginning of this stage, the liaison road section A is 467 kilometers long. So 467, they're going to be riding 289 miles. So if you're in San Diego, they're going to be basically driving to Primm, Nevada to get to the start of the stage. That is a long day, and that exactly explains why they are going to be leaving at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 3:30 a.m. Saudi time. So that is absolutely crazy. It is a brutally early morning for these guys. I hope everybody rests up, but the recipe for today's stage, we're headed to the empty quarter. We are getting into the sand today. Today is a sand day. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So 467 kilometer commute with a 114 kilometer special. So 70 miles, 70.6 miles to be exact, or 71 miles if we're rounding up. 71 miles of actual stage racing. And then they're going to be following a 42 kilometer liaison back to the bivouac, which is only about 26 miles. So brutal morning this morning, trying to get everybody over into the area. And then once they get there, they're only going to ride a shorter distance, about 71 miles. So very, very interesting. Let's see here. They are going to do 216 kilometers before fuel. And then they're going to get to the depart special stage, which is another 251 kilometers from the last gas stop. And then they're going to run, let's see here. Yeah, this is crazy. They got one checkpoint at kilometer 65, so roughly at about the halfway, a little past the halfway point on the stage, and then they arrive back to this special stage. Okay, so what does this break down to? First bike is leaving at 3:30 in the morning. They expect it to depart the stage special at 9:50 a.m. So that is a absolutely long. That's a little over 6 hours to get to the start of the stage. So what it looks like is today's stage 1% sand. So 7 kilometers of that is going to be sand. No, not even 7 kilometers of that. That's crazy. Okay, so 1% sand for today's stage, 9% of it is going to be dirt, and then 90% of it is dunes. So here we go into the dune day. we were talking about it this morning on the show for the results. And of course, some of our guys, Mason Klein, one of them, falling back a bit and finishing back is definitely a bummer to see that. He's apparently the road book, the second half of the road book that he needed for today's stage to navigate, pulled a vanishing act and was having to follow everybody in. So that put him a ways back. But I'm looking at the bright side on this one is we're getting into the dunes. This is definitely a lot harder to lead out. And with the dunes being kind of tricky, I think this is a good position for him to be in to help kind of slingshot him back. In the overall ranking, currently he is only 6th with about 18 minutes of time to make up, which you can lose 18 minutes very quickly in the sand, or you can gain a chunk of that back. So being into the sand, being a little bit further back, that I think biting off. If we could get, I wish I could see the rest of the stage previews, because I have a feeling that this is that whole like slingshot thing. I got a feeling that this, if he can work his way up little by little, don't want to finish first tomorrow, don't want to finish first for that stage today or later tonight, overnight, but want to be up there and chip away at that 18 minutes. And then the next day, same thing. If you're in the sand, you want to get a little bit more in. It sounds like I'm playing the game, but it's right now we're looking at the strategy of it and trying to get back up to the top, but in a smart fashion, right? With racing and with doing all of this stuff, there is some strategy to it. If you guys heard the interview with Nar Talk or In the Wild with Gnarly Dave, by the way, did we vote on that? Did we figure that out? I don't know. If you guys are on Spotify, you can send the response there. You can answer the question, send your response. What do you guys think? Are we going with In the Wild with Gnarly Dave, or are we going with Nar Talk? And then it's kind of like a spin-off TED Talk, something like that. I don't know. You can do it there, or if not, shoot me a message on Instagram at Chasing Waypoints. But we could definitely see some changes still coming because of the sand stage and seeing so many of the faster guys finishing back on this first one. So it sucks to see that. Skylar Howes did mention that in a post-race interview for the stage, talking about one of the missing waypoints, that it caused a little bit of difficulty to get a hold of it or to validate it and continue on. So definitely a tricky day for these guys on stage number 9, and it shook it up, the starting order for stage number 10. So I'm hoping that this is going to break down and work out the way that we want it to for our American guys. Skylar Howes at last check was still leading at the top of the overall. We'll see after, again, in the morning, they are still doing their, whoever had protests, if there was medical injuries, things like that they had to stop for and getting time back and all that stuff. So not really counting on the results just yet, but, some food for thought, I guess we could say. So let's take a look here. They are going to be near the town of Chewa is where it looks like the bivouac is at. And it's just brutal just watching them like ride across. And it's cool because they're riding to the water and then they're just going to go nope and then go head south on the map. So let's see here. Let's go down to the timing of the stage. So first competitor on the bike is supposed to leave at 3:30 in the morning. The organization is giving them 6 hours to get to the start of the stage or to check in. Total, that's their anticipated. They do have at 9:30 is what they're thinking for the road book. That is for the start there at 9:30. Then they want the teams to do the road book delivery zone. They're going to have about 15 minutes in that one. Then they've got a security zone, about 5 minutes in that. And then the first bike is to leave at 9:50 in the morning, expecting the last bike to leave at 11:14 in the morning. And then the vehicles starting just 30 minutes after the last motorcycle leaves, or the last quad, I believe. And then let's see here. They're expecting the first bike back. So if the first bike is leaving at 9:50 in the morning, they're expecting the first bike back at 1:37 in the afternoon, with a halfway point time of 10:45 in the morning. So interesting on the breakdown and how they're doing it. Now remember, so the way they've changed this at the Dakar is that now the road books are delivered right before the stage starts. So they have about, what they show here, about 15 minutes with the road book, and then you got about 5 minutes where you're in the zone right before the stage starts. So I believe once you cross over into the roadbook delivery zone, you're not allowed back out of there. And then those 5 minutes is your staging time before you get the green flag. So we'll confirm with some of these guys. But yeah, 114 kilometers they'll be racing with a estimated completion time. They're saying, let's see, estimated there. Max time is 7 hours for the stage. 1:37 p.m. finishing time for the first bike. And then from there, let's see, 10:45 there. Kilometer estimated time 1:37, 7 hours max. And then SS finish, road section start at 11:27 is when they're expecting the first bike to take on the last part of the stage, which is just going to be the commute back to the bivouac. They expect the arrival of the first bike at noon. So 11:57 p.m. is what they're expecting, or 11:57 a.m. Is what they're expecting for the first bike to get there. And then 6:25 for the last bike to arrive is about the timing that they've got. So very interesting on how these guys have broken it down. I'm kind of digging these stage timing breakdowns and how they do it. To kind of give you an idea of the timing of the stage. Obviously, this helps media and everybody following along so they kind of know when people are going to start showing up. So very, very cool. All right, so that is stage number 10. That is the preview show for stage 10. I am expecting to see some more changes, especially for the teams and the guys that are following or have fallen a little bit back. Let's see if we get... Let me see if we could go back to the standings here and kind of give us an idea of what the starting order is going to be for this one. So let's see. Benavides is going to lead out. Price second. House third. Sharina fourth. Dumatier fifth. Nacho Cornejo sixth. Kevin Benavides seventh. Milik eighth. Michek ninth. Kami 10th. Santolino 11th. So a lot of fast guys, all of the fast guys, a lot of guys that have been kind of running down in the rankings are now kind of closer to the top and are going to be leaving first. So what I am hoping for is a lot of guys with a lot of clean navigation. That's going to give our guys a good shot at making up time, namely Mason. From there, third for Skylar House, third out. He can navigate. He's been having a lot of fun. He's been very, very fast in the dunes. So I'm thinking that the streak will continue. He's got a little bit of a gap on Price. He is starting behind him. So I don't know how much movement we're going to see with this, considering that at last check, they were only 3 seconds apart. So for the overall, if Skylar rolls up on him and is able to catch him, he is automatically ahead of him. So if they just stick together and doesn't lose sight of him, then we're good to go. Even if Toby Price decides to follow Skylar and allow Skylar to do that and to tow him in, then still same thing. He's starting a few minutes back before, so it would on corrected time, on total stage time, Skylar would be faster. So, all right, let's get to it. Remember, guys, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when the first motorcycle will be leaving the bivouac. And then it's expected to start, it's going to be about 10 p.m., so 6 hours later. So we're looking at about a 10 p.m. start time for today's stage for these guys to leave or get the green flag. So it is going to be a long day for these guys, man. I can't imagine riding 6 hours to go race, but literally on your race bike. It should be a challenge, but it should be fun. So with that being said, guys, remember, it'll make sense when you get there. Enjoy the ride. All right, that is the wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you heard. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others. Also, follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook under Chasing Waypoints, Instagram, Chasing Waypoints _official, and, of course, the YouTube under Chasing Waypoints. Hope everybody has a good week. We will see you guys for the next episode. Remember, shiny side up, and don't forget to tag us. We want to see where you guys are riding and what you guys are up to. Have a great week.